Have you ever sat on a bus, watching the city blur past the window, while your mind replayed the same moment, over and over again? Have you ever felt your thoughts running ahead of you, building entire stories, out of a single silence? If so, I want you to know this softly. Your overthinking isn't chaos. It isn't weakness. It isn't you being too much. It's a wound, a quiet one, born not from weakness, but from the places in your life where answers never came, when you needed them most. His name is Miles, a gentle boy who grew up in a home where clarity was rare. He remembers standing in the hallway, small hands pressed together, trying to understand why the adults were quiet, why voices dropped when he entered the room, when he asked, "Are you upset with me?" Someone would respond without looking up, "Stop imagining things." When he wondered, "Did I do something wrong?" he heard, "You think too much." They weren't unkind, just distracted, just tired, just unavailable. In the moments he needed help making sense of the world. So Miles learned to make sense of it himself. He studied tone. He memorized footsteps. He read silence, like it was a language he was expected to understand. Years later, Miles is an adult, moving through life with a steady face, but a restless mind. In the office, he sits at his desk long after others have stopped working, cursor blinking on an email he's rewritten 5 times. He rides the evening bus home, lights streaking across the glass, while his mind revisits a conversation from earlier that day, scanning every word, every look, every pause. In his kitchen at night, the refrigerator hums softly as he stands alone with a cup of tea, wondering if he should have phrased something differently, wondering if someone misunderstood, wondering if he is, once again, too much or not enough. He checks the stove twice, sometimes 3 times, not because he doubts the stove, but because certainty feels like safety in a world that rarely offered it. And when someone doesn't reply for a while, he feels a quiet tightening in his chest. Did I do something wrong? Are they upset? Is something coming that I should prepare for? His mind isn't loud, just constant, a steady hum of possibilities, trying to protect him from a danger he cannot name. One early evening, after most people have gone home, Miles stands in the soft-lit elevator lobby, the kind of quiet that makes honesty easier. His team lead steps in beside him, a calm man, observant, gentle in the way older souls sometimes are. They talk about simple things, weekend plans, a project update, the weather. Then he glances at Miles, sees the way he hesitates before pressing the elevator button, and asks softly, "Miles, what do you think would happen if you stopped preparing for everything at once? The words don't break him, they just settle, like a warm light turning on in a dim room. A question his mind hasn't allowed him to ask himself. In the days that follow, as he walks through quiet office hallways and waits for trains to arrive, 3 soft truths begin to rise in him. The first truth: his overthinking wasn't a flaw. It was guidance, a map he drew for himself, because no one ever explained the terrain. The second truth: his mind stayed alert, not because he was broken, but because unpredictability taught him that safety lived in preparation. The third truth: he isn't spiraling because he's dramatic. He's spiraling because he's tired. A mind that carries every what if eventually forgets what it feels like to simply be. And for the first time, Miles sees his overthinking not as an enemy he must fight, but as a younger version of himself trying to keep him safe in the only way he knew how. He doesn't suddenly stop overthinking. Healing isn't that kind. But slowly, small shifts appear. On the bus one morning, he lets a thought pass without chasing it. At his desk, he sends an email without rewriting the ending 3 times. One night on the balcony, city lights flickering below, he feels a spiral rising and whispers to himself, "It's fear, not fact." His mind doesn't silence. It simply softens. And now, you who analyzes every pause, you who replays conversations in the shower, you who prepares for outcomes that never happened, but felt too possible to ignore. Lean in. Your mind spirals, because no one ever taught it how to feel safe. You're not too much. You're not overdramatic. You're not broken. You're protecting yourself the way you once had to. And slowly, gently, softly, you can learn that not every possibility needs to be held at once. You can rest now. Your mind has done enough.